Lightfall has just recently came out, and day one I grinded until I finished the campaign and got one of the new exotics. The real question is though, is it actually worth getting? Lightfall had a good campaign that lets you experience many things like helping and talking to the Cloud Striders, exploring Neomuna, and many other fun activities. The campaign starts you off with an amazing cutscene that shows us everyone in the tower reacting to the ongoing war with the Traveler and the Witness. Every cutscene that was in Lightfall's campaign was amazing and showed you how strong the Witness and Callus are. After the first mission, clearing out one of Callus's ships, you go to Neomuna to confirm Osiris's visions, which are in fact real. The scenery in Neomuna is amazing and it is a very fun place to explore. It is definitely different from what we have seen before, giving the place a more futuristic feel. Immediately after entering Neomuna, you are introduced to the Cloud Striders and develop a good relationship with them. I really liked how Nimbus and Rohan act in the campaign. Rohan is very tough and strict since he is the older of the pair, and Nimbus is very carefree and chill. You help both Cloud Striders in protecting the Veil from the hands of the Witness and Callus, which proves to be a very hard task. Then comes the main attraction to the DLC, Strand. You use Strand for almost the entire campaign, but it only bits and pieces. I won't lie, I was frustrated I couldn't have my hands on it completely until the end of the campaign, but it was a good way of showing how the Guardian has to learn to harness a new power while also explaining the dynamic of light and dark. While going through the campaign, you fight Tormentors, which are a new race of enemy that only pop up occasionally but are definitely scary. When I first encountered them, I immediately got scared because I was command grabbed and drained of almost all of my health. But you may— Yo! They're definitely one of my favorite enemies in the game because they have so much health and they actively chase you down once enraged. Another added feature are the new version of the Cabal, the Shadow Legion. They have a new design which makes them look cooler and another mechanic which is their shield generators. When I first saw them, I thought they would be very annoying, but to my surprise, they barely changed gameplay. Almost all of the Cabal could have won on their back except for the Colossus and Gladiators. The shield generators only give the Cabal around the area a weak overshield, so it wasn't much of a nuisance during my legendary campaign playthrough. All of the missions in the campaign were fun to play with a lot of loot to give, so you wouldn't be too underpowered during the playthrough. While avoiding spoilers, the last boss of the campaign was a good boss fight in my opinion. A lot of ads spawn around the area and keep you on your toes while you try and do damage to the boss. The boss itself wasn't tough, but the battle with tormentors and other ads is what makes it hard. Once the campaign is over and you have seen all the cutscenes for Lightfall, the campaign seems like it should have kept going. The ending cutscene was very hype, but it leaves off on a giant cliffhanger that we will most likely have to wait another year for, which I don't like. The ending of the campaign feels like it would have been together with the final shape, but then Bungie decided to make it its own DLC. Many weapons were added to Lightfall, which include many legendaries and exotics. More than 35 legendary weapons were added to Lightfall, not including adept or raid weapons that haven't come out. Some legendaries that were added are being reintroduced, either once being sunsetted or coming in from rotation. The new legendaries that came out with Lightfall are either designed closely to Neomuna or the season that came out with Lightfall, aka Season of Defiance. The Neomuna weapons have a unique design that captures the essence of Neomuna with its blue and pink futuristic design. The Season of Defiance weapons are designed after Marasov's colors, giving them a royal look. Some of the legendaries also come with the Strand Energy type, giving them access to unique perks. Then comes the 5 exotics that came out with the DLC. The DLC introduced the first heavy glaive named Winterbite, which I haven't acquired yet, but it will most likely be underwhelming compared to other heavy options. The other weapons consist of Deterministic Chaos, Verglass Curve, Final Warning, and the raid exotic the Vexcalibur, which seems to be a primary glaive. The added weapons are all pretty cool in my opinion, but I find that some of the exotic weapons are a little underwhelming and something that didn't excite me when I first saw the trailers for Lightfall. Armor is another important part of DLC content, and I think the armor they added was good compared to other DLC. The only issue I have with the armor added is that there are only 3 armor sets that were added in the DLC. The armor sets consist of the Thunderhead suit, the Unyielding Favor suit, and the Raid armor that hasn't been revealed yet. The 2 armor sets we can get as of March 1st are cool, my favorite being the Hunter Unyielding Favor set, but there should have been more armor added either for trials or mainly switching up the Crucible, Vanguard, and Gambit armor sets that haven't been changed in a while. 2 exotics were also added in Lightfall, being one for Strand for all classes and one unique for the rest. I found that all the exotic armor that was added to Lightfall have underwhelming perks compared to other exotics added in DLC like the Lorelei Splendor Helm, the Renewal Grasps, and the Secant Filaments, which were all broken and added in Witch Queen. Lightfall also added another universal ornament, which in my opinion is very underwhelming compared to the past 2 ornament sets that were collaborations with Destiny. Speaking of collaborations, Destiny 2 collaborated with Among Us, but didn't end up adding anything to Destiny. I understand making an armor set for Among Us would be difficult, but I wanted at least a ghost or some sort of finisher. With the addition of Lightfall, they added UI updates and they added the longed for loadout system, which I am a very big fan of. As of me making this video, the loadout system still has bugs like certain armor pieces not switching out, but once it's patched, it'll be perfect. Making your own loadouts is a lot of fun, and switching up for certain situations or certain game modes feels very satisfying. Another welcome addition is the mod customization tab, which lets you equip mods on all of your armor without having to inspect every single one of them. Being able to switch out mods smoothly is very satisfying and something I am glad they added to Lightfall. In the season, they also changed how champion mods work, but I will most likely review it in another video covering this season. Overall, Lightfall has been a fun expansion for me even though the storytelling was lackluster. This review mainly focuses on the bright side of Lightfall, but it definitely isn't perfect. I wish they put more storytelling into the campaign instead of making the main focus Strand, but it is too late now. For now, we must wait to see what happens next and hope that the new raid coming out March 10th eases the backlash Bungie has been receiving for this DLC. So is Lightfall worth buying? If you're a committed Destiny fan, you most likely already bought it, but if you haven't yet, I would recommend waiting until the new raid comes out. If you get the DLC, it'll definitely be a lot of fun playing, but if you don't mind spending $50 on fun content with a not so good story, then go ahead. If you're looking for some top tier storytelling from this campaign, then you're definitely looking for something else.